Hey everyone, and welcome back to the show. We often talk about big successes, right? The overnight sensations, the lucky breaks, the raw talent that just shines through. But I've been thinking a lot lately, what's really behind those lasting achievements? What's the secret sauce that keeps people going when the initial excitement fades?
That's such a great point, John. And I think, honestly, a lot of us miss the real hero in that story. We glorify motivation, we romanticize talent, but the quiet force, the one that truly builds something substantial, is discipline. It's not flashy, it doesn't always get the headlines, but it's the bedrock.
Exactly! You put it perfectly. Talent might give you a head start, luck might open a door, but discipline. That's what keeps you moving forward long after that initial surge of motivation has just completely vanished. And let's be real, motivation is fleeting, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Motivation is like that amazing surge of caffeine in the morning. It gives you a jolt, makes you feel like you can conquer the world. But then a few hours later, you're looking for another cup. Discipline, though, that's the consistent commitment to showing up even when you don't feel like it. It's choosing long-term growth over short-term comfort, repeatedly.
Yeah, that choosing part is huge, because who wants to get up at 5 a.m. on a cold Monday morning to hit the gym when your bed feels like a cloud? Nobody, really. But the disciplined person does it because they understand the bigger picture, the consistency.
And that's where the real power of discipline lies, right? Inconsistency. It's those small, seemingly insignificant actions, done daily, week after week, that create massive, almost unbelievable change over time. It's not about grand gestures, it's about micro habits.
Totally. Waking up early, staying focused on a task for an extra half hour, finishing what you start instead of leaving it half-baked. Individually, they don't seem like much, but compound them over months, years, that's a different person entirely.
I mean, think about it. If you save just $5 a day, every single day, it feels tiny. But over a year, that's over $1,800. If you read 10 pages of a book every day, that's a couple dozen books a year. Small, disciplined actions, their impact is truly life-changing, and it builds momentum.
It's like building a wall, brick by brick. You don't just magically have a wall, you lay one brick, then another, then another. And sometimes those bricks are heavy, and sometimes you just don't want to lay another one. But the wall only gets built through that persistent effort.
And it's not just about external results either. There's a massive internal shift that happens. Discipline builds self-respect, you know? Every time you keep a promise to yourself, every time you follow through on something you said you'd do, your confidence gets a little boost. You start to trust yourself more.
Oh, that's huge, that internal trust. Because I think a lot of people struggle with that. They set goals, they get excited, they try for a week, and then they fall off. And that cycle, over and over, really erodes your belief in your own ability to follow through. It makes you doubt yourself.
Exactly. You stop doubting your ability to follow through because you have a track record. You've proven to yourself, hey, I said I'd do this and I did it. That internal voice shifts from, can I actually do this, to, I know I can do this because I've done it before. That trust becomes the absolute foundation of any real sustainable success.
It really does, and I think another fascinating aspect is how discipline handles challenges. Because let's be real, life throws curveballs. Things never go perfectly according to plan. And I've noticed that disciplined people don't get broken by challenges, they actually get sharpened by them.
Oh, absolutely. It's like a grindstone. Discipline teaches you patience when progress is slow and strength when moments are difficult. It's not about avoiding obstacles, it's about transforming them into training grounds. Every setback becomes a lesson, every struggle builds resilience.
Yeah, I remember one time, I was trying to learn a new skill, and I hit this massive plateau. For weeks, I felt like I wasn't making any progress. My initial motivation had completely disappeared. But because I had this disciplined habit of practicing for an hour every day, I just kept going. And eventually, I broke through. It wasn't glorious, it was just consistent effort.
And that's the thing. It's not always about feeling like you're making progress. It's about trusting the process. The disciplined person knows that showing up, even when you're tired, even when you're discouraged, even when you don't see immediate results, is what eventually leads to those breakthroughs. Motivation comes and goes, but discipline stays.
It really does work in silence. You don't get applause for doing your daily tasks, for sticking to your budget, for waking up early. It's not Instagram-worthy, usually. But it's shaping your future while everyone else is still waiting for that burst of inspiration or that perfect moment.
And that's why, if you want a powerful life, a life where you're actually achieving your goals and feeling good about it, you have to build disciplined habits. It's non-negotiable in my opinion. It means taking control, proactively, of your time, your focus, and your actions.
Control your time. Decide what gets your attention. Control your focus. Eliminate distractions. Control your actions. Do the thing you said you'd do even when it's hard. It sounds simple, almost too simple, but it's profound.
It truly is. It's about intentional living. Instead of just reacting to whatever comes your way, you're proactively shaping your days and by extension, your entire life. It's not about deprivation, it's about prioritization.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people mistakenly view discipline as restrictive, like it's taking away their freedom. But in reality, it gives you more freedom. Freedom from procrastination, freedom from regret, freedom to actually build the life you envision.
Exactly. It creates space and time for what truly matters. When you're disciplined about your work, you free up time for your family, your hobbies, your personal growth. It's not a cage, it's a launch pad.
I really love that analogy, a launch pad. Because when discipline becomes your lifestyle, when it's just how you operate, success stops being this distant dream. It stops being something you're always hoping for. It just starts becoming your reality, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. It becomes the natural outcome of consistent, intentional effort. So if there's one thing we hope you take away today, it's that while talent is nice and luck is certainly welcome, the true, lasting power comes from cultivating discipline. Start small, be consistent, and watch what happens.
That's a fantastic way to put it, Angelina. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive into discipline. It's such a fundamental topic that often gets overlooked. To all our listeners, think about one small area where you can inject a little more discipline this week. You might be surprised by the ripple effect.
Thanks, John. And remember that consistent effort really does pay off. We'll catch you next time.
Bye for now, everyone.